Hello and welcome back to Eye on South Asia. Let's continue with Pakistan.
Yeah, we were discussing about Pakistan, and the administration has been, like I said, very, very clear about that. Let Afghanistan lead its own country. Their own leadership should take it forward, especially after the former president of Afghanistan who was killed and actually he was a very important architect of the Afghan peace. President Bahruddin Rabbani, who was killed in Pakistan, and there is a few areas in Pakistan which are very much kind of occupied by Taliban, especially if you go to the southwest, Quetta, and there is obviously northwest frontier is anyway taken. The Pakistan is very clear that we want to see a stable Afghanistan, and like I said, 2014 is coming very close, and there will be complete withdrawal of the foreign forces.
Right, and it's very essential that they have a clear plan in place what is going to happen, and Pakistan can help facilitate that.
They have been, but recently there are reports once again which is irritating the Pakistani administration, is that American envoys, if I may call them, have been meeting the Taliban's, even if it's a middle-level leadership, commanders of Taliban's, without participation from Pakistan, sometimes without even being arranged by them, which is kind of irritating for them, but they are still saying it's okay as long as there is a direct peace negotiation going on, there is a peace. Everybody seems to be looking at creating peace in Afghanistan,
right?
Which is the key now.
Yes.
So that is the happenings of the neighbors, whether it's here or in England, where the two foreign ministers met. The next story we have is about our own dilemma, if I may call it. I think we reported the story about in Norway, where this couple, Chatterjee, husband and wife, Anurup and Sagarika Bhattacharya, not Chatterjee, the couple were blamed for not taking care of their little kids in the right manner according to the laws of the land. And the kids were taken away by the Norwegian authorities, and it has become a major issue because parents want their kids back. And
Right.
Indian government has stepped in, including the foreign minister. It's almost every day basis. This discussion is going on, as S.M. Krishna has said, that we want to make every effort to get these children back to India because they are belonging to India, that is their home.
And at this point, they're considered foster children, and they're being taken care by
Their uncle.
their uncle.
Yeah, they have invited their uncle to come and take care of him, but not the parents. But in the meantime, the government of India has said their visa expires, so let's send them back.
Right.
But there is a word out there, the Norwegian authorities on their own, as the state is applying for extension of the visa of these two kids. I don't understand what is their reason that they are so particular about holding on to these kids.
What is their vested interest in that?
I don't understand.
Yeah, and at the same time, the Indian state says that these citizens, they must enjoy our protection because they're
Sure.
citizens of our country.
Sure. So it's very interesting development, but we really wish the children were with their parents and in the right place wherever they belong.
And in good care, no matter where.
And I think there must have been enough torture. I've seen some images and the presentations and the discussions with their parents, very heartrending, but I guess they have paid the price and they will be able to do the right things if that is what it is.
Right, hopefully so.
Moving on to our own Nikki Haley, the governor of Southern Carolina. She's been a little bit into some hot weather here. There is a word out there that she does not like criticism, and
She's
on her
come under
Facebook.
fire, for deleting Facebook comments and even blocking some users.
Who are her critics.
Right, and it says that several Facebook accounts and blogs that have been complaining have been banned from her page when they're disagreeing with her, and her supporters are allowed to stay.
But she's very clear. She says that's not the case. I am very happy to allow anybody who wants to be criticizing me, or whether it's a healthy criticism or whatever constructive criticism. But I do not want to tolerate any kind of disrespect or hate being promoted on my own Facebook pages. So I hope, the reality is that people are
everyone
probably
gets a fair representation and is able to voice their concerns as well as do it in a respectful way, and she's allowing for that on her.
That's what she says, but keep an eye on it. We'll find out as we go, because it's an everyday affair, whether it's a Twitter, whether it's a Facebook. In fact, some of the people have gone and created their own Facebook accounts and Twitter to irritate her, I guess.
Right.
We'll find out as we go along.
Yeah.
Very interesting again here, as Indians continue to assimilate with the mainstream. We talked about the 3 top guys being taken as the co-chairpersons. Last week with Dr. Akshay Desai coming in, and now we have Senator New York, very powerful Senator Ruth Hassel Thompson. She is, being sought by the Indian community, and they want to make sure that Indian or South Asians, for that matter, should get enough representation or connection or relationship with Albany. And our own Nayan Parekh, he is the president of Society of Indo-American Engineers and Architects. I was very surprised, because normally he's a very quiet person and he focuses a lot onto the construction and engineering type of activity with the city. But here he was reaching out to such a powerful senator and telling her, look, we want to organize a meet and greet. And he did organize. There were about 100 top Indians from the tri-state area to meet her personally, and he obviously had other dignitaries from the other departments. And he very clearly told her, we want you to help connect Indians with the politicians or the policy makers. And she was very reciprocal. She was very responsive. She said, look, I really appreciate what your community has done and continues to do so. In fact, I had a chance to speak to her, and I asked her a question that if Washington DC's relationship with India goes through hide and seek sometimes, why can't New York, as a very powerful state and with such a high representation of South Asians here, continue to build with India or Pakistan on their own?
Right.
They don't need to follow the same line as Washington DC has. They can maintain. She said, absolutely. Very impressive, very, very impressive lady. Hopefully we should be able to bring her here to the studio one of these days.
And it's a great way to network in various different avenues, like this organization for the engineers. And as we're going to talk about, the Sikh American Chamber of Commerce is another avenue that we're connecting Indian Americans. The Sikh Chamber of Commerce is they hosted a kickoff gala, and they're basically wanting to bring in Sikh American business owners and have them network and really be able to promote entrepreneurship and a good community.
Sunny Kela, who is the president of the Sikh American Chamber of Commerce, was here in the studios, and we spoke to him. Very dynamic guy, self-made guy. He's an IT entrepreneur, runs a very nice business, and he says very clearly, look, our community is as strong as our business community is, and the idea is that we should be, as a Sikh community, one of the strongest forces in North America. Keep in mind, there are about 1.35 million Punjabis in North America, US and Canada, and Sikhs were one of the first ones to come to America. And they're in all walks of life in America.
Right.
And you go to any business, you go to IT now, you go to medicine, you go to engineering, construction, gasoline, anything you discuss about, and the Sikh community is there and growing. And in fact, their founder, Yadvinder Singh, who himself is a very successful entrepreneur, he said the whole idea is that we have a dream that we as individuals could be successful, but our success will be measured by the success of Sikh community as a group. And the true mission is to be successful in delivering the message of honest living and sharing. Such a nice message from the Guru of Sikhs, Guru Nanak Ji. It was a very nice gala. I had a chance to attend it, and it seemed that even though these few individuals jump started it and this idea, but everybody out of the almost 200 people who were there at the kickoff kind of said we all had this idea. Somebody had an idea like this 30 years ago, or somebody had this idea 20 years ago. Somebody had the idea last year, but they were very happy somebody really took the initiative and went ahead and created one.
Right.
And they have a very big event coming up on March 30th. I think this organization is going to go places, and such chambers really help to build with the mainstream, because they're looking for an officially organized body, not a social institution or a religious institution or a community organization to represent the businesses of a particular community or any community for that matter. I think it's a very, very good idea. Moving on, Bhavna, we reported about the exploitation case, which had become a big issue. I hope the noise we made from our media
Definitely, the
made
story
the difference
went
about
viral. Yes, this is about Harvard
and
Asian American discrimination probe. As we were talking about, Harvard and Princeton were coming under fire when an Indian American student was refused at both schools
from
despite
California, and he has great scores. He has done very well. He is on the
Exactly.
top of the line, and he took an exception. He mounted his resistance, and look, we are the voice for such people. And the case has been withdrawn now, and the Harvard University has said that we really respect the community and we want to be fair to everybody and give them equal opportunity based on their talent. So I think they should be behind us, and every Indian kid or South Asian kid or any kid, minority kid, should be getting an equal opportunity, whether it's Harvard or Princeton or MIT, whatever it is.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't know the reason why it was withdrawn or anything, but it seems to be all parties are okay with the decision. So
that's what matters.
that's how it ended.
Very unfortunate event here in New York, which continues to haunt us because it is not a typical Indian government servant. It is a person who was in the Indian consulate in New York, Dr. Neena Malhotra. She was the counsel for press, culture, information, education, and community affairs. You cannot name any other better portfolio for somebody to be in charge.
Exactly.
And I have known her otherwise also. Honestly, found her with an attitude. And here, she was charged for enslaving an Indian maid, Gurung, very young girl. And she brought her here on a promise that she'll be paid some $100 or something like that per month, and she'll do just menial work, some support and some parties, while the reality is she did not pay her somehow more than $120 all these years. She was made to work 16 hours. She was threatened. Her passport was taken. And then this girl, Gurung, somehow managed to escape and meet a grocery owner. And
right. She wasn't allowed to leave the house even.
Very unfortunate. And in fact, when she ran away from there, she was hospitalized for quite some time, and then she filed a lawsuit against Dr. Neena Malhotra, and I believe she left from here under that pressure.
Right.
But now the US judge has granted $1.5 million as a compensation to Gurung.
Yeah, and that also includes a $500,000 in damages award for emotional distress, because she's suffered physical and emotional distress.
I believe she's a young, early 20s girl.
Right.
She was brought here with a lot of
She was
promise.
only 18 actually when she started
came. Now
working.
she's in early 20s, and the word is that she has lost close to 30-40 pounds.
Goodness.
Not good.
Imagine. Yeah.
Similar unfortunate story, but very with a different twist. Neha Patel from Florida, Lakeland, has been charged with the first-degree murder of her own child, which is only 1 year old, Ishan. She claims that she has been in depression. Her husband has claimed that she has been in depression and also under suicidal tendencies. And she was sitting and watching TV, and the kid was bothering her. She slapped him. She concedes to that, put him into the bathtub and put water into it. And then when she went back, she found out that he was unconscious. Now the funniest part is she knows how to help him out from CPR, but
But she chose not to do that.
she did not even call 911, and she assumed he is dead. She put him into the crib, and she went out to the airport and wanted to commit a suicide. Somehow she found too many people there and came back.
But she actually, when she spoke to her husband right after, she outwardly admitted that she had killed her son by drowning him. And as you said, she was threatening to commit suicide and all this stuff. So, I mean, all the evidence is out in the open. It was.
But once the case starts, I think it will not be as easy to be called it a first degree murder, because she is in a difficult state of postpartum. So I guess let's see how we'll follow it up. But here is a little child for no reason. 1-year-old child lost his life. Not good.
Right. It's very unfortunate. With that, we are going to take another short break. We'll be right back on Eye on South Asia.